All right, guys, welcome back to the Old Glory Red Report. Today we are going to be talking about that Open Cup match coming up on Wednesday. I believe it's a 7:30 kickoff, if I'm correct.
I believe so.
Yeah?
Yep.
So we'll come at you with that in just a moment after these title cards. All right, guys, welcome back to the Old Glory Red Report. Thanks for joining us. Mark Anthony here, Casey J. Mark Anthony's there. I'm Casey J, because that sounded weird for a second. We are going to be talking about that Fresno game, man. They're doing really well this season. Third place right now in the Western Conference. We did nick one off them last time due to Warner, which in the other video I credited to Reno when I talked about it. I said that we did that against Reno, and just to state, that was against Fresno. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So what are you thinking on this game, man? It's here instead of at the pitch you hated last time.
Yeah, Chuck Chansey Park. Yeah. So first and foremost, happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. From the Old Glory Red Report, we're obviously honoring those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, those who have served. Thank you very much for allowing us to do what we do. But yeah.
On the note, we are shooting this on Monday, Memorial Day, and so it'll be out Tuesday, but yes.
And there are dogs present, as you probably just heard in the background, at Fort Rock Brewing, of course. But yeah, getting on to the Fresno game this Wednesday. Again, we're hosting, which is cool, another U.S. Open Cup game that we will be hosting. And yeah, like you mentioned, that Chuck Chansey Park that they play on in Fresno is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I know you had real big gripes about that.
Yeah, and you know what? Fresno actually plays better on the road. One thing that I've noticed watching them, and the stats will show this year.
They're 3-3 on the road right now. They're undefeated.
Yeah, 3 wins, 3 draws, and you know they're 1 loss this year, and in 12 games they've only lost 1 in all comps, and that was to the boys in Glory Red. But yeah, as they are a good team at home, I think playing on the road maybe fits them a little bit better just because we know how terrible their pitch is. It makes it hard to play a fluid game for 90 minutes when you know that one half of the field is a completely different texture and surface than the other side of the field.
Yeah, and it was the weird bobbles that even led up to the goal for Warner where the pass was a little misplaced in the back and he got a little lucky to get it and then didn't get over the keeper who rushed out a little too far. So going into this game, it's a cup game. We kind of talked about where the importance of the cup games would be. I think the coach is going to go full out in the cup game. I think he's got a lot to prove right now, and a win in this would be big going back into San Antonio at the weekend. So I think he's going to go out. What are you kind of thinking for the lineup for this game?
Yeah, and Fresno, you know, they won their first U.S. Open Cup game. They had the luxury of playing a team in a lower division. They played El Farolito, I think.
Where are they from?
I think San Francisco or the Bay Area, somewhere in the Bay. They won 1-0, and I did watch some of that game, but you could tell Fresno played some of their reserve players. They didn't really put their full lineup out there. They ended up getting the win with a second-half goal, but
we'll probably see more of their full lineup against us.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, definitely, as you get into this stage of the competition, you know, you win this game, you're most likely going to face MLS competition. It gives your fans something to look forward to. So I do think that both teams, our boys plus Fresno, will put in a strong starting 11. Maybe not exactly the top 11, but I would say more regular starters than less for both teams.
I would agree. I think for Elliott, there's something to prove in this one, like I said. So I think we're going to come out with a strong lineup. I think you'll see most of our starters in there. He may tinker a little bit. Diaz may be in the back again on this. It may be his third and, you know, maybe a final opportunity to prove himself. As far as Fresno goes, I think they want to beat us. Losing to us and destroying that unbeaten streak in the league, they're going to want to prove something. I think the coach is going to want to prove something. Like you said, getting that chance to play against an MLS team is big for any USL team. That's going to draw in extra attendance, a little extra revenue. So they're going to want that. For me, I think it's going to be a tough game again. I think they're going to come and they're going to challenge. Like you said, away, they're good. They're a good team. And I think Cheney will be in there. I think Lawa will be in there. And these are guys that are scoring for him right now, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there is that rivalry because Adam Smith, their coach, used to be on the Republic staff. We know there's former players currently play with them.
We joke that they're Little Sacramento or Sacramento South. And
But there is a rivalry. I mean, it's, you know, there's a lot of relationships there. Last time, I think the Fresno coach, he obviously got ejected from the game. He was, I guess, rightfully upset on some of the calls. I mean, I'm not saying that, all the calls went against him, but frustration. Fresno really played well against us, and they were unfortunate, I think, to not get a point out of that game.
I agree. It's surprising that it at least didn't go into a 1-1 draw. Because they should have at least got something. Even if they did still have that mistake, they should have got something out of this game. So.
Yeah, and they're a good team. They're a team that spreads out their goals too.
Yeah.
They have a few different players who have scored.
I think they have 3 players with at least 3 goals. They have a couple players with 2, yeah.
Right, and, one guy who actually hasn't scored a lot for them, Juan Pablo Caffa, the Argentinian. We talked about him last time in the match build-up. He's got that silky left foot. He has given us problems in the past. He's a USL veteran. You always got to look out for him because he's a creative player. He can score. He can set up teammates. He's still the player that I look for, even though his output hasn't really been there yet. His chances created have been, so I expect him to start scoring and assisting more. Hopefully not against us on Wednesday, but he is always a dangerous player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen him around the league. This is a guy that's played for multiple USL teams, and we've seen him play us in other teams where he can change a game. Even though he hasn't done it right now, that doesn't mean it's not in there. So, yeah, definitely a guy to look out for. If he plays, Lawal is having a great time right now. I think he's come into a recent spell of form. He's going to be someone to watch out for me, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like we mentioned, Fresno's undefeated on the road.
Yeah.
They have just played so well at home, too. But, 20 goals scored, 11 conceded, and that's in 12 games. So they're allowing less than 1 goal a game. They're scoring close to 2 goals a game. I mean, honestly, those are the kind of stats that we want to see our guys put up. Yeah. We want to see our team have an output like that. Right now, we're actually negative in the goal differential on the season. That includes our U.S. Open Cup game against Reno. So it's going to be a tough game. But I do hope with the break, we didn't have a game this weekend. I do hope with the break we will see our team come out, not only take it seriously, but get on the front foot, try and score early, get the crowd into it, and maybe beat our rivals for another time. So we usually have pretty good success against Fresno. I'm hoping we continue that.
Yeah, our record has been pretty good since Fresno. And like you said, I do consider them a rival, so I do want to beat them in this cup, and I want to move on in the cup. I want to beat them every time they come around. Let's talk about us a little bit. Mm-hmm. What do you think the coach is going to do? I kind of said it, that I think he's going to come out with a full, strong team, full, strong lineup. I think we'll see Iwasa in there. I think we'll see, the back line. I think we'll see Tainter back in the back line, Kynan back in the back line. I think the coach is going to play his preferred 11 here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, and I think if Bijev is healthy, we'll see him start. We know that.
I haven't heard anything, though.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything, but we know if he's healthy, he'll start. You know that he was upset not to be able to be fit enough to play against Fresno the first time, since that is where he grew up, playing against a team from his hometown. You know that it killed him to not be able to play in that game. So I do expect him to start if he's healthy because, it is a U.S. Open Cup game. So you can take a little bit more chances, I guess, with the lineup there. Maybe use it as a game to get some players in because we know on Saturday when this team plays at home against San Antonio, that's going to be pretty much a must-win game. We'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
You can give a guy maybe coming back from an injury like a Bijev a chance there. A guy like Partain, has been in and out. I expect a full squad though. I would be surprised if a guy like Kynan didn't start.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Kynan and Tainter.
Especially in the back line. I think it's got to be that starting back line of Gomez, Kynan, Tainter, and McCreary.
Yeah, exactly. I think our back line, I think Cohen will be back in the goal too.
You think so?
I think so.
You don't think this is Diaz's I personally think this is Diaz's last
I think
chance.
the coach gave Cohen a break knowing that, look, if I give him 2 games here, I also get the bye. So then he can get about 2 weeks of just rest, watch the game from the sideline, and kind of regain himself. So I think we will see Cohen back between the sticks. I think we'll see a guy like Ray Sari back in that number 6 role.
I hope so. I think we've been missing someone that can dominate that midfield, and him coming back in would be great.
And you know what? I'm not sure who's going to get the start up top, if it's going to be a Blackwood or a Bonamo. But I think that this game is
Blackwood.
I ultimately think that this game is big for whoever gets that start because if that player performs, I think they get the start on Saturday. If that player does not perform, I think they sit the bench on Saturday. I think this is a crucial game for some players on this roster, maybe more than others, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would have to agree. These are getting to the times where some of these players have to step up and start shining to get these starting spots. And if not, then maybe the club has to start thinking about some replacements for them. So I think this is going to be a big opportunity for some of the guys. Maybe Bonomo gets to start again, gets another opportunity to show himself. I would really like to see Iwasa and Blackwood play up top. I think the combination play they offer would be really nice in a 4-4-2. We have seen the coach kind of lean. Maybe it's kind of a makeshift 4-4-2 where they're not playing exactly flat on top, but we're getting there. So seeing that more flat on top with Blackwood and Iwasa, I think would be key for this game. And it would be a good time to try it out. Why not? I think it's a good formation against a Fresno too, because you get a good defensive line, and Fresno can play out the back quite well, and they can move the ball around quite well. So.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. And another thing that I'm interested in seeing is that, since we've had a really bad run of form lately, we just talked about maybe some players getting an opportunity in this game because it is U.S. Open Cup game.
Yeah.
What we don't know is what has happened in practice the last couple weeks since the last really terrible loss.
We never know that, unfortunately.
Right, but where I'm going with this is that maybe we will see a change in tactics or philosophy.
I would hope so.
Because if there is a time to make a change, you would think that with that break of last week, not having the game at the weekend, plus getting some guys back maybe into fitness, and now that we're heading into the summer months, this would be a nice break in the season to maybe try something out if that's in the cards. We don't know, but it will be interesting because if we see a different formation or tactical philosophy Wednesday, then it might be a sneak peek into what we can expect on Saturday night and games down the road.
I mean, we've hounded up that tree for video after video now, at least probably a month's worth of videos about trying something a little different. So I don't have much faith in Elliott at this point in his ability to change tactics. I think he's really trying to just shoehorn this tactic in right now, and I think in his mind there is a long run plan where this is going to work out. These guys are going to get it. It's going to click at some point. So I don't see it, but I would love to see some tactic changing here. I really would. Kind of what are you thinking on the score line on this one? I know it's going to be a tight game, and I think everyone's going to call it a tight game, but what are you thinking?
I think we're going to win this game. I think we are going to, again, beat Fresno. I think we win a 2-1 game, but I do think that this one goes extra time. I think I predicted last time that we would win in extra time. These U.S. Open Cup games, I think we will see an extra time game this week. I'm not sure, but what do you think?
It's going to be a late night at Papa Murphy's Park, huh?
Well, it would be – I feel like that would just be justice, right? Like if we're going to get a win, it's going to be painful and it's not going to be easy, right?
I'm with you. I call the same thing, actually. I went with a 1-1 on the full time.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to take it all the way to penalties on this one. I think it's two teams that are going to fight it out, but –
anything can happen in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's going to go down to penalties, and I hope that we can win it on penalties. I think we have a great keeper if Cohen's in there, and if not, maybe the coach thinks about subbing him in late to take those penalty shots if that looks like something we're going to do. And I think Cohen can do it for us if we go to penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we'd all have the utmost confidence in our keeper if we do, whether in this round or down the road this season, maybe hopefully in a playoff game. If we need a stop, I think we would all feel comfortable with Cohen rather than who's on the other side, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So 2-1 late for Mark. I'm going to go 1-1, take it all the way to penalties for a Republic win. Do put your thoughts down there below on what you think the score prediction is going to be. Let us know how wrong or how right you think we are. If you're going to side with one of us, you can put #Team Mark. We'll start that war if we want. Overall, Mark, last thoughts on this game? Anything that you think we should know about this game that's really on your mind?
No, I think to summarize, I'm really interested in seeing what kind of lineup we throw out there because I think we're going to know early on, right when we see the lineup sheet, if some guys are, getting another chance to really prove themselves or if we're going with a different approach, So I am interested. I think it is a game that both teams will take very seriously, and hopefully we can have a good crowd out there on Wednesday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be great weather, by the way.
I just want to conclude. I think you touched on it a little bit. Look, Fresno they're proving themselves to be a rival this season.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we didn't take them seriously.
They're one of the best
season.
teams in the league.
They weren't the greatest team last season. We were kind of joking that, but they're showing that there's something to be taken serious this season. So let's not sleep on this game. I think the team needs to come out strong. The coach needs to come out strong, and we need to get a result. It would boost us going into the USL play against San Antonio. It'll boost us going into a crucial time in the league itself with a win here. So not just take it serious to move on in the Open Cup and get an MLS game, but take it serious to build that confidence that we talked about in the other video, the Terrific Together. This is a good opportunity to build the foundation for Terrific Together. All right, so we are going to shoot a post-match for the San Antonio game. That'll be out a little later in the week, so if you're watching this, that'll probably be out Tuesday. Then the next video will be out next Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Till next time, thanks for watching. We're on Facebook and on Twitter. Instagram. Facebook is the Old Glory Red Report. Instagram and Twitter are Old Glory Red. If you're on the YouTube, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And until next time, peace, guys.